Hi there, today we're going to do a walkthrough of the Riverwood Hoarder, a new mod on the verified creators part of Bethesda. It's a new home in Riverwood. It's available right from the start, so it's there to support you through your character growth and can be used really all the way through to the end of the game. It adds a few very important inventory features and allows you to link your crafting station to your storage, which makes life a lot easier. Okay, so without further ado, let's start on our journey. First, I'm going to take you to the entrance to the Riverwood Hoarder, which is just over here. And as you can see, it's locked the first time we get here. You might notice there's a little torch sconce there, so I'm going to put a little torch in there so we can see the door a little clearer. It's certainly designed to be hidden away there, so someone might not even notice it was there. Also notice there's a horseshoe above it for good luck. Presumably whoever's there is quite superstitious. Right. Now, we started a little quest there, and the quest tells us to gain access to the Riverwood Hoarder through the sewers. So we'll go straight over to the sewer entrance. I'm going to pick up some ingredients on the way because after a while playing this game you just can't resist it. Oh, there's that beehive there. More ingredients. And here we go. Riverwood Sewers. Let's go in. Now this is a very small dungeon, nothing particularly complex. It's designed for very early stages of gameplay. There's a few items around, and the good thing about this is when it respawns, you'll be able to pop straight out from the Riverwood Hoarder to grab whatever ingredients and weapons or treasure that the game has spawned for you. Now, being a sewer, of course, it's going to have skeevers in it. Not too hard to defeat at an early level, and the skeever tails make a good ingredient for potion creation. Now the layout of the, let's have a quick look at the layout. The layout matches exactly the positions of the various buildings in Riverwood. So each part of the sewer is kind of like a little undercellar. Oh, got a frostbite spider there. There we go. So it makes for a good introduction to dungeons too. It's got everything in it that you might expect in a dungeon, but it's smaller and it's a little easier than the bigger dungeons that you'll be heading to afterwards. So in fact I'm going to put on lovely horned helmet. So a bit better protected. Lots of ingredients for alchemy, which will become important a little bit later on when we see the sort of hoarding aspect of the new property. Those little fishies normally spawn in threes, but couldn't find that third one. Okay, on we go. What's the map looking like so far? Yeah. So there's apparently a key over there. so we'll keep on heading along. I can hear the sound of a skeleton. And another one. Okay. Now, as the name of the mod points to, this is kind of about hoarding. So grab as much stuff as you can as you go. Oh, be careful of that, because that will trigger a trap. Work your way around that. Okay. That's further on, but we want to go in this direction a little bit more. So we'll head south. Loot everything we can. Oh. This one's much bigger. He's the boss of this tiny dungeon. And in his stomach is the Hoarder's key. And if you couldn't see that one, here is the body of the Riverwood Hoarder, the original owner of the property. Some nice treasure there. Grabbing all these torches because we're going to find them useful later on. Now then, where are we? Did I miss a torch over here? Oh, I think I did. I'll grab that one too. Ah, our torch had just run out, so let's get another one. And here's another torch. More loot. Ooh, torture tools. I wonder what's been going on here. Now, that little sound tells us that we've done all the dungeon. There are no longer any enemies in it, and we should be safe. Here we've got a few more mushrooms. And here we are at the door of the Riverwood Hoarder. There's a couple more torches here, and I'm going to put a torch in the sconce there, so we'll have some good light here. And again, you'll see there's another horseshoe. Okay, here we are. Now then, I'm going to take off my torch. There we go. And put my sword away too. Right, at the moment, as you can see, it's looking pretty dark and dismal. Fortunately, there's lots of things we can turn on to make it a lot more habitable. And even though it's called the Riverwood Hoarder, you can see there's some areas don't have much stuff in at all. And here is a mysterious cupboard that tells us more hoarding must be done. And of course, we have a bathroom and an outhouse. Let's put some torches in place and lighten the place up a little. Chandeliers can be lit. Lots of little candles can be turned on, can be lit. Well, there we go. They're not light switches, so yes, you need to light them. In some places there are torch sconces, and we need to put a torch in for those. The torches, when they're in sconces, will burn indefinitely, not run out after a few minutes like they do if they're in your hand. Here's another one. Right, I think that's pretty much all of them, and already it's looking a lot more homely. Now, one of the aspects of the house is it has two fireplaces, wood burners, and you need to put firewood in them for it to light, and it'll light for 3 in-game hours for every piece of firewood you put in. So I'm actually going to drop off some firewood I got earlier. It's a little feature there. I was chopping some wood earlier, and you can simply drop off the firewood above it. This allows you to pick up one at a time rather than, you know, having a huge pile of wood in your inventory in one go. And over here we have a little wood burner. Okay. Looking a lot more snug already. Yeah, one of the features of the property is these paintings. This is clearly the hoarder was a painter or a drawer at least, and they're quite detailed scenes of Skyrim. So clearly she travelled as well. Let's have a look at some of the other ones. Some of them are scenes of places you'll visit afterwards, and some even are actual events. This again is a fairy ring, so there's a certain fairy connection to this property, although obviously there aren't fairies in the game itself, well, as far as we're aware. Some of the paintings actually have a little button on them, and you can activate that. And that'll light the painting up and give you little sound effects that give you an impression of where they're from. Here's another one. That's Solitude Port. And another one. I have to see if you can find that one. Okay, so obviously there's plenty of food around, lots of little items. There's a shrine of Zenithar there, which will cure any diseases you might have. If you've been in the sewers, then the chances are you might have been bitten by a skeever, and that can give you ataxia. So there is also a potion of cure disease there, should you need it on entering. To make you feel a little bit more comfortable, you can of course bring the door bar down, and that'll make certain that no nasty little creatures make their way in from the sewer itself. Another feature here is the Horn of Plenty. If we activate that, the Horn of Plenty refills itself every day. Now we've activated it, every 24 hours it'll refill with general ingredients for cooking, not so much for alchemy, although there is a salt pile in there, and wheat can be used for that, and garlic too. But generally, they're just ingredients that you can put into the cooking barrel, and then use the linked cooking pot. Now we've got the fire on. That won't be activated until you've got the fire on, to cook your favourite food. Let's have a look. Is there any? I've got a few recipes we can do there already. Okay, that's cool. Going to put the items. In fact, I'm not going to put the items back in. I'm going to show you another chest. So this is a sorting chest. This will, when activated, when opened, any items you put in will be sent to the various storage parts of the house. There's a miscellany chest, a cooking barrel. There is weapon storage. There's apparel storage. There is supplies chest. There is an enchanting chest. There is an ingredients chest. And there is book storage. I'll go into the book storage a little bit later on. So when we place items in the sorting chest, what have we got here? Let's equip those. Put that one in. Picked up just a couple of potions so far. Right, so as you can see, there's actually nothing in the chest now because it's all moved to the various chests that it's connected to. So miscellany chest should have a few items in it. You'll notice the apparel storage has started to have items appear on it. The way the apparel storage, the weapon storage, and the potion storage work is the more items you have on you, the more it appears to be full. Each of them has got 4 or 5 stages of fullness, I suppose, and the more you fill it, the more obvious it'll become that it's getting more and more full. And eventually, when all 3 of these are visually full, then this wardrobe will open, and you'll find out what's inside. Okay, what else do we have? We have a spell tome, a unique spell, Summon Storage Portal Spirit. Now let's learn that. Okay, and in Conjuration, you should find it there. It's a very simple spell. Cast it, the storage portal spirit will appear, and you can open any of the chests you choose. The sorting chest is for dropping things off, so I will drop off all the things that I don't want at the moment. And this can be done from anywhere in Skyrim. You can be in the middle of a dungeon and you can drop everything off if you're encumbered. Now, if I go over to, just to prove it did happen, this linked cooking barrel, you'll see a lot of those ingredients have gone through. Those cooking ingredients have gone through. Now, each of the crafting stations is linked, and that means you'll always have everything from your resource barrel on hand. That's true for all of them. So the oven is linked as well. The workbench, the anvil, the tanning rack, the grindstone, they're all linked. So I had some wolf pelts from earlier. Now the items that are created from using these stations do remain in your inventory. So the leather and the leather strips are there. So I'm going to drop those off. I can go through the sorting chest, or I can just use the supplies chest there. You'll find there's a fair few little items here that you can use to start off your crafting. Same is true in alchemy and enchanting. And there's even a couple of magic items. There's the Ring of Alchemy there, and gloves of smithing, which will give you a little bit of a boost when you're doing your early stage crafting. Or you can go to your arcane enchanter and learn the enchantment and make your own items. Okay. One other additional thing is the destination crystal creator, and if you I need a petty soul gem. I don't have one of those. Okay, let me grab a couple of petty soul gems. If you give it a petty soul gem, it'll give you a destination crystal in return, and we'll find out what those are for later on. Made a few already. Okay. So another thing is in the book storage. We've got nothing in there at the moment. We can use the stacking bookshelves, bookshelf stacker, to drop items off, and that will sort them through the book storage. So we've only got one at the moment. It went onto the first shelf there, but this will work for all the shelves here, and any leftover will go into the book storage there. This is for scrolls, so again, if you drop off any scrolls, I don't have any scrolls yet, and letters, notes and journals are sorted there, so the shelves are a little bit neater than they might be otherwise. Okay, we've got loads of soils around. You may have seen a few of those. 1, 2, 3. More over here, 4, 5, and then over here is the main growing area. And I think that pretty much covers the basics. What I'll need to do now is do some hoarding. When I've done the hoarding, I'll return, and the place will look a lot more, well, full. And we'll be able to open the wardrobe and find out what's in there. Okay, see you in a moment. Okay, we're back again. As you can see, I've planted all the planters, and we've got a healthy crop of ingredients there now. These will return for you more than their wild counterparts will. I'll just grab one there. Yeah, I got 4 rather than just the 1. So they're very, very useful for making potions. And you do need a lot of potions to gain access to. As you can see, yeah, everything's looking quite full now. All the lights are lit. We've got the apparel storage is totally full. The weapon storage is totally full. And the potion storage is totally full. And those are the 3 you need to unlock the cupboard here in the bedroom. I've also went to Dragon's Reach and stole basically every book they had, so we've got all that on the shelves there now. And some Thalmors were rather rude, so there we go. And I found these guys dead. Honestly, they did me no harm, and I very sadly looted their bodies. Okay, so without further ado, let's pull the chain and see what's inside. Okay, so it's rather dark. Let's put a torch in place. Now, what we see here is a rather interesting artifact, and there are notes on it here. It's called the Hand of God, and this tells you a little bit about the background of it, what it can do. Now, it is essentially a teleporter. You put in the coordinates, your east-west coordinates and your north-south coordinates, and you pull a lever and you will teleport to that location. Now, the way that Skyrim works is that certain cities exist within their own world space. That means they're not literally connected to the main world. So it becomes very hard to get a teleport to connect to the right spot within those. So what is recommended is if you are going to teleport to a city is to teleport just outside. If you don't, then you kind of enter a sort of ghostly version of that city, which you can get out of and return back inside the city the usual way. But you know, it breaks suspension of belief a little bit. So this is recommending open cities be installed. Now, I know a lot of people don't like using open cities because it can limit the amount of mods you could put within a city. But with it installed, you can land more or less anywhere without any hiccups. Be cautious though, not to land in quest related areas like the Thalmor Embassy, for example. That might cause some problems if you land, you know, in areas that you shouldn't be able to have access to. Generally speaking, it doesn't cause any real problems there. Let's have a look. There's also a spell called Locate Me, and what that let's learn that spell. Find out exactly where you are. So when you're in Skyrim and you cast that spell, it'll give you a coordinates for your exact location. That should allow you to duplicate them here on the map. But let me explain. We were talking a little bit earlier about the destination crystals, which you can make here. Petty soul gem. Let's create another one. Now these are used on the map itself. So given a location that you might be pointing at, you can store that destination, add a destination crystal, and you can type in the name of the location. Now if you've got SKSE installed, which is really just a PC thing, then you will be able to just type in the name of the location rather than go through this. But unfortunately, without it, there isn't a facility to allow you to type in a name. What was I going to call it? I was going to type in Skyrim for some reason. That won't help. So now we've got a little spot called Sky. Okay, I'm not quite sure why it froze there for a little while. And I'm going to now remove that one, so I can show you how to remove a crystal. There you go, it's gone. Okay, so let's try a location. Let's put in a coordinate. I want to land maybe just sort of south of Whiterun. Let's actually try and land more or less at the gate of Whiterun. I think probably somewhere around 5350. Moved it a little bit, maybe a little bit higher than that. 4800. Okay, I'm gonna add a crystal, and I'm gonna call it white. White. Run. Okay, if I select that one, destination set to white run. Okay, there we go. I might at the same time want to put a couple more up, so let's put one for Falkreath. Where would that be? Somewhere around 4,800. Yeah, maybe a bit less than that then. 4,200. And 3,200, something like that. Nope, a bit less. Okay, well, alright. That's quite close to Falkreath. I think I'll probably put us somewhere in the middle of it. Falkreath isn't one of the cities that's within its own world space, so any location's fine for that. Oh, I need to go through the beginning again. A Falk. Nearly there. Okay. Falkreath. White run. Okay. Let's go with Falkreath then. Let's see. Oh, 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 oh. And landed safely. Fantastic. So where are we here? Yes, we're a little way south of Falkreath. Now moving on to a position where I prefer maybe my landing spot to be, and maybe that's just directly at the entrance here. We can then use that spell. It was an illusion spell. Yeah, there we go. Alright, so 4103 2161. And now if we go to Riverwood again. This will obviously allow you to explore all kinds of areas on the map without having to walk there. Okay, so I'm going to remove that destination crystal. I'm going to set my coordinates to exactly where I want to be, 4103 2161. Add that crystal again. Type in the name. Okay, there we go, and activate. Now, underneath the bonnet, what this actually does is place an invisible rabbit And why would you want an invisible rabbit? Oh, there we go. We need to fall. You you will see from these flights a wonderful view of Skyrim that you perhaps wouldn't see otherwise. Oh, okay. We're a little way off. Not quite the exact spot there. What it does do is drop a, as I was saying, an invisible rabbit, which should make it find a spot which has nav mesh, which will reduce the chances of you landing anywhere that's inappropriate. I suppose, yes, we're a few feet off where we'd ideally like to have landed. But certainly you can fiddle with those numbers a little bit to try and get a spot that you're perfectly happy with. Okay, let's go back to Riverwood again. Now, the reason why it drops you off at such a high location is partly so you get a wonderful view, but also because it can be very hard to work out what height you should be at. Now, that little rabbit trick does mean that you could get the exact height, but I kind of got used to the idea of dropping from a high location and being able to see a fantastic view while you do it. So you can put as many of these crystals here as you like. You can choose your favorite positions. You can set up a location just out in the plains, anywhere you like. And there you've got a teleporter to get you there. All of Skyrim is is only a few coordinates away. Okay, I think that's pretty much everything I wanted to show you. I can't remember if I told you the number of items for the potion storage, the weapon storage and the apparel storage, but just to go through those again, it's 100 for the apparel storage, 100 for the weapon storage, and 200 for the potion storage. Seems like quite a lot for the potions, but bear in mind that you can plant a lot of ingredients here, and you get a significant amount for each one of these that you pick, so that 200 really doesn't take you too long at all. Okay, well, I hope you have a chance to enjoy the mod, and I hope you enjoyed my little walkthrough here. Do enjoy the Riverwood Hoarder. Goodbye.